So if you haven't heard some of the Ubisoft news yet from yesterday, here it is. Despite Prince of Persia: The Lost Crown scoring well with fans and critics alike, and just being a really satisfying gameplay experience overall, the team behind making it has disbanded, being moved to work on other projects such as a Rayman remake, with the possible sequel to Lost Crown, as of yet, having been cancelled due to Lost Crown failing to meet expected sales. It's just sad seeing a game that's more than worthy of a sequel fail to get one because of lackluster sales and people not buying and supporting games like this, or only receiving a sequel years after the fact. We've seen this happen before too, where games end up being beloved by fans, but it's often too late. Psychonauts is regarded as a classic that released in 2005, and didn't get a sequel announced until about 10 years after release, and that didn't even come out until about 6 years after being announced. So that's roughly 16 years waiting for a game that possibly may have never came. Hi-Fi Rush probably didn't get the sales it needed, being released on Game Pass simultaneously, and Tango Gameworks being shut down, especially when its accolades were based on player count and not sales count. So who knows if that game will ever get a sequel. But thankfully, Tango Gameworks was saved by PUBG publisher Krafton Inc., and were able to save the Hi-Fi Rush IP in the process. So thankfully it might actually be a matter of when and not if. Or even Days Gone, which may have possibly failed to receive a sequel because it didn't receive enough sales when it was important. And of course the overused but perfect example of Bloodborne. Fans want nothing more than a PC remaster, remake, or a sequel, but Sony seems to refuse to do anything with it given the initial poor sales. So I guess the whole world will collectively have to beg for it to happen, or something else entirely, I don't know. I'm not saying sales are always the only defining factor, but they certainly do influence the trajectory of a game series. It's just sad to me that there are often game series that never deservedly get a sequel or remake due to certain factors that I think can be easily avoided. Obviously it's not always the fault of the consumer in the events that the studios fail to market the game right and don't end up buying it because of that, but Hi-Fi Rush, despite being promoted very little if at all, still managed to rack up a solid player count in a fairly pivotal span of time, I think. So obviously there's nuance to these situations. I just wanted to stress how important it is to support good games and voting with your money so we could continue to get good games. And just how important those early sales are for a game being remastered or receiving a sequel. Anyway, I just wanted to vent a little about the current situation and see what you guys think in the comments below. Thanks for watching, and I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Until the next one, take care.